Goeiemiddag, dames en here, en welkom terug. Hier van 'n baie koue Kaapstad op Saterdag. Dit is die 12de vandag. This little intro was literally just to say hello to everyone, but also to prove that I am in fact South African. There's been a lot of comments of people thinking that I'm not South African because of my accent and because I don't sound South African, and I fully respect and understand that. You can ask me about this tomorrow night when I'm going live for our esteemed president's live stream where he's going to be addressing us, the nation, another family meeting like we had during COVID. Sorry, that always triggers me because it's not a family meeting. We're not family. You're just the president, but never mind that, right? We're going to have another one of those meetings where the president is going to inform us on what is happening with General Mkhwanazi's allegations against the police minister and so on and so forth. And there I will be live streaming it so we can watch it together. That will be up on the channel later today where you can just click notify me and you'll get notified when we go live. But all right, so let's talk about what the president could possibly say. So very quick refresher, General Mkhwanazi, the police commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, made some serious allegations against the police minister and suggesting that the police minister is in the pocket of some very serious crime cartels within South Africa. Cartels that are linked to political killings, cartels that are linked to drugs, to all sorts of murders around the country, just some vile stuff. And they allege that they have emails, they have phone conversations, WhatsApp messages, and all the rest. So this is what we're now dealing with. Thus far, we've had some very weird things that's happened. For example, the spokesperson for Parliament effectively said there will be no open debate on this. Instead, it will be handled by committees, 3 separate committees, which is already, I think, a little bit awkward and weird because why would you not want an open debate? Clearly, this is something that affects the whole of South Africa. South Africans are sick and tired of crime and corruption. So it almost feels like there's some hide the footsie somewhere being played here. But what is the president going to say? I think that's what most of us sort of wonder about and sort of think about. Is the president going to give us some good news? Well, I think first and foremost, let's talk about what the president can't really do. I think unless the ANC is so far up their own bottoms that they don't know how to read the signs of the country, the last thing the president needs to do here is sell out General Mkhwanazi. If the president comes online and says, we'll deal with this internally, because that's exactly what will happen, FYI, because that's also been announced, they're going to have an ANC integrity committee that's going to look at these allegations. But if the president says, yes, we'll deal with that, but General Mkhwanazi stepped outside the law, broke protocol, and for that, we're going to put him on paid leave or whatever, pending an investigation, I think the country is going to lose their minds. People are fed up. People have had enough. We have a criminal government that protects the criminals in their midst, going so far back as Nelson Mandela protecting Winnie Mandela from corruption charges there. And since that time, that's never stopped, right? Every single ANC president has overseen massive corruption within their departments, and every single time it's sort of just been brushed away. Even the Zondo Commission that cost the country millions of rands, and people were found guilty by the Zondo Commission. Nothing has happened. Like, no one's gone to jail. There's been no prosecutions. If anything, a lot of people have sort of been forgiven or just sort of they've said, no, nothing's wrong there. So it's clear that this government has no interest in genuinely dealing with corruption and genuinely dealing with people who break the law consistently and steal from taxpayers. So the president is caught between a rock and a hard place. He can't really get rid of General Mkhwanazi because the country is on a knife's edge. But he can also not really go after Minister Mkhwana because Minister Mkhwana and a lot of other ANC ministers, they're all corrupt. But they also know of everyone else's corruption. They probably also know about the president's corruption. Let's not forget the most obvious one, the Phala Phala case. But I'm sure the president has been involved in a lot of other corruption scandals as well that we just don't know about. So getting rid of Mr. Mkhwanazi would just immediately mean that he's going to spill the beans and he's going to open a lot of wounds that the ANC would rather see closed, because that's the nature of evil criminal empires. Ultimately, I think Ramaphosa is going to do, and this is sort of, we can talk about it tomorrow night when we finally hear what the president does have to say. But here's my prediction. The president is going to do a bunch of word salad, which he's pretty good at. And ultimately, he's going to end up saying nothing, right? It's going to be, we're going to handle it. We're going to take care of it. You don't have to worry about it. The ANC Integrity Committee has this under wraps. We'll deal with the guilty parties. Then the whole point is going to be to try and wait it out. See how long we can go before we sort of have to step out, right? Before the country hopefully moves on and finds a new bone to sort of run with. Is that going to happen? Is that a good strategy? I don't know. I don't know what the strategy will be, but that's my prediction on it. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel, especially on this one. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, because I just don't see it. I'm sorry, but I don't. I don't see how the president of this country, specifically Mr. Ramaphosa, goes from being one of the most toothless, yet shrewd. I don't want to make him out to be completely useless as a politician. As a politician, Ramaphosa has been incredibly effective. Not at governing the country, no, but at keeping the ANC together. Given the ANC's election results, given the MK's massive election victory over the ANC, let's just be real about that, it would have been very easy for the ANC to split apart, because there are factions within the ANC that genuinely align themselves way more with the MK than what they do with the ANC. So the fact that Ramaphosa has been able to keep these factions together within the ANC, as tenuous as that may be, suggests that the man at least knows what he's doing when it comes to sort of running the political party that is the African National Congress. The question is going to be, how does that play out in sort of dealing with this? Because now we have a public addition of scandalous behavior from a minister, from a president who promised that he will root out the corruption within state-owned enterprises and within the ministerial positions of his cabinet. And yet, this is the moment. And I highly doubt that he's going to rise to the occasion. But I'd love to read your thoughts. As always, hit the like if you liked it, if you didn't. And I'll see all of you tomorrow night, hopefully, for, well, what's going to be an interesting live stream or a very boring one. We'll see. Peace.